Hello everyone, Randy here, and we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on the Platinum DLC here on the RDAllen multiplayer server, and we are harvesting sugarcane at the moment. We got the self-propelled sugarcane harvester here finally. Not that that's maybe necessarily that much of an upgrade, but it is self-propelled, a little bit wider at least. A hired worker currently on that. As it doesn't really seem like you can connect a trailer to this harvester. That really seems to work very well anyway. The harvester here does have a hitch on it, but yeah, like I said, at least this particular trailer here does not attach to it. Ooh, I'm a little too close there. Using GPS here for driving the tractor. Seems to work okay. I'll actually narrow up that width. Maybe we can actually get it to work right. I'm at like 3 meters. Let's see what's here. I have no idea what kind of width the hired worker's using here. Anyway, just myself on the server here at the moment. And we've made some really good progress here since the last episode. We now have, well, actually we got a new field and we made a field as well. So kind of the large grassy area you see there by field 3 and by 29. We made a grass field out of that. We actually plowed it all under and then replanted it in grass. That way you can fertilize it and get a much, well, not much better, but a lot better yield from that. Just look at the map here. And we turn grass on. It doesn't need to be fertilized there, I guess. But yeah, you can kind of see the field there. It doesn't really show up real well with all the rest of the grass around, but that whole area there was turned into a field. So obviously you got a nice large field there once you do that. Still pretty cool harvester here, though, I'll have to say. But nice if I was able to drive it, and we can maybe get Courseplay or something to run this, but oh well. This is, again, multiplayer. Courseplay does not work multiplayer. And again, of course, just like I said, myself on here at the moment, so just myself harvesting. And let's see what field is it. This is field 1 here. Still, as you can see, it's definitely going to take quite a while to harvest this field, even with the self-propelled harvester. And again, I'll just have to say I'm rather amusing at the number of people complaining about the size of the sugarcane equipment. Quite a few people are really hyped about the Platinum DLC, but now that it's out, the hype is gone, shall we say. It seems like a lot of people are very disappointed in it, which, again, I find to be rather amusing, considering, again, I don't know if people thought the sugarcane equipment was going to be larger or what, but definitely doesn't come as a surprise to me at the size of this equipment. Yeah, it seems like we got a pretty good width set up here on the GPS. 2.7 meters? Yeah, we are a little close, so probably need to narrow it up just a little bit here. 2.6. 2.5. Yeah, we'll see what that does. Maybe 2.4? Yeah, let's narrow it up 2.4. Yeah, still a little more yet, looks like. 2.3. There we go. That's looking a little better. 2.2 at the moment. I know it doesn't quite look like it's going in the trailer. I'm pretty sure that that can swing out further, but apparently the hired worker's not doing that. Obviously, with this setup here, it's not like a chopper where the chopper blows it into the trailer. With this, the trailer actually has to be directly underneath the spout here, or the belt. I guess this is the belt in here, I'm assuming? Yeah, the belt in here obviously has to be right underneath the belt. Almost seems like we're a little too far away now. Maybe it should be 2.3. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, just a reminder again, if folks would like to join us on the multiplayer server, anyone is welcome to do so, as long as you can play nicely and follow the rules. Again, we have 3 multiplayer servers. Server 1, Who Dat, Who Dare. There's no DLCs on that server, by the way, for those of you who don't have any of the DLCs. No DLCs on server 1. Server 2 here, again, Platinum DLC at the moment. And then server 3, looking at a new map for server 3 yet. Again, that's our old iron server. So for those who like working with all the old equipment, that's definitely the server to check out there. Again, we've got a lot of really nice mods on there, at least in my opinion, at least for old stuff anyway. So yes, again, for those who like the old stuff, definitely check out server 3. And of course, we have all the old iron packs on server 3. So all the internationals, John Deere's, Alice Chalmers. Oh yeah, see that belt can turn around more. Kind of what it needs to do when we're going down the field, but oh well. Like I said, hired worker, I don't think there's much I can do to control that. Anyway, again, if you do want to join us on the multiplayer servers, please make sure you join us on TeamSpeak. That is a requirement to join us on the Farming Sim servers here. Again, just a little extra step there to keep the riffraff off the server. And overall, I would say it's going to improve your experience on the servers anyway. Makes communication much, much easier on a multiplayer server if you can communicate easier. You know, especially, you know, say if we had another person out at the moment, we're both working on the harvester here. If we're got another maybe tractor running as well. We've got 2 or 3 people working on sugarcane harvest here. Obviously, that helps with communication having TeamSpeak. Again, TeamSpeak is free and a microphone is not required. So if you don't have one, don't worry. You can still join us on TeamSpeak. And we'll read a few comments here in a moment from the last couple episodes. Hunter was saying you should not have to chop for a while. Talking about the last episode there on Snetterton's. Yes, we filled up, I think it was 9 of those chopper boxes, the 4-H wagons. And I think that's actually the last of the corn I have anyway, so I don't think we'll be chopping anymore anyway. I do have one more field of corn there on Snetterton's, but again, I do want to use the sheller, the Tobheim sheller, I guess. I'm assuming it's actually a corn picker, I should say. The Tobheim corn picker, I'm assuming, is what it is. Haven't used it yet, so I'm not sure if it's shells or corn picker, but given the age, I'm assuming it is a picker. For those of you not familiar with that, by the way, a difference between a sheller and a picker. A corn picker literally picks the whole ear of corn, and that's what you get, a whole ear of corn. It doesn't shell it. A corn sheller, which is what pretty much all the harvesters are nowadays, they shell, actually takes the corn kernels off the ear, and all you get is the corn kernels. You don't actually get the whole ear of corn. You know, obviously if you're picking the corn with a corn picker, you obviously get a lot more corn because you get the whole ear, the whole cob. Whereas with a sheller, you know, the combine shells the corn and gets rid of the cob. I know there's still a little bit of corn picking that goes on yet. I'm not entirely sure what all that corn is necessarily used for. Maybe feed. Oh, we're pretty much full here. Let's go ahead and sell this, I guess. Let's see what's our sugarcane price is. $2.44 at the bakery. Like that is the best price, and the bakery's down in town there. Yes, it is. Okay, make a trip down to town here. Tyler's Farm Sim channel is saying, hey, I'd be glad with 40 frames. I can't get above 30 on minimum graphics on Goldcrest with no mods. Ouch. What are we running? We're running a solid 60 here at the moment. Kind of figures. We don't have that many mods on here. And, of course, pretty much all in-game stuff. So that really helps. Start adding mods. That's where a lot of times frame rate drops will come from. especially from mod authors who have not properly optimized their textures on their stuff, which, again, unfortunately is, I would say, altogether too common. Joseph was saying, I'm Cajun, so I had jambalaya for Thanksgiving. Okay. Benjamin was saying, I'm playing Clover Creek at the moment, and I use the 200 series Massey Ferguson and the New Holland forage box. Great setup. Oh, yes, I'm sure it is. Yeah, for those of you who like the old-time stuff there, definitely check out those chopper boxes, forage boxes. And, of course, any tow behind forage harvester. We're using the one from the Massey Ferguson pack there, by the way. I got the lilies, but unfortunately, I thought they looked really nice, but they don't have a corn header that comes with them, so can't really use the lilies for that. Oh, there's a palm tree laying in the road over here. Okay, that whole area there that we just drove past on our left-hand side there, that's the area that we made into a grass field. Obviously, all palm trees and stuff on there. We cut all those down and got rid of them. JC was saying, awesome video. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you very much for that. Nick was saying, I found a nice sugarcane harvester mod. It's the Grimmy. Yes, for those of you who maybe want a little bit bigger sugarcane harvester, there's a extremely unrealistic modded Grimmy harvester out there for harvesting sugarcane. I think it's like 12 meters wide or something like that. Steven was asking, is this PC gameplay? Absolutely is, yes. I mean, the frame rate here should be a dead giveaway as to what platform we're on, right? Kentucky Farmer was saying you should play on No Creek Farms. Oh, yes. And I just remembered, this is one you got to back into. Yay. With this trailer. Okay, then. Well, this should be fun. Definitely not my area of expertise here, backing these trailers up, but we'll do the best we can, I guess. Probably actually should have it off to the left-hand side here a little bit, because it does dump to the right, or will dump to the right. Oh, a little bit farther here, and we should about have it. There we go. And make sure the money actually goes up when you do this. It doesn't just dump it on the ground. There we go. Okay, back to the farm. We could probably actually take a shortcut here. Not taking the roads would probably be quicker. Don't know why I didn't do that the first time around, but oh well. Anyway, Super U-Boy was saying, I came here to do the same thing you did, to fix the speed on the plow. Apparently he was looking at my video on how to do that. I forget which plow that was again, and he didn't mention which one he fixed. But yes, the plow that went super slow. Probably another fine example there of a mod author who didn't check his mods. I forget how slow that plow went again. It was ridiculously slow. And I'm sure the mod author probably actually meant to do miles per hour, not kilometers per hour. I think he had it set to 8. I think it was like 8 kilometers per hour. And I'm fairly certain the mod author meant 8 miles per hour. Again, with the farming simulator here, when you put the speed in the mod, it's in kilometers per hour. So something to keep in mind there. The speeds for farming simulator mods are in kilometers, not miles per hour. So I'm guessing, you know, when the mod author put 8 in there, he was probably figuring 8 miles per hour. And that's, yeah, why that plow went so stinking slow. And yeah, again, here on the right-hand side, that's our large grass field we got. Like I said, that is a big field once you clean it out of the trees and plow it under. It doesn't seem to be too hilly either. There is a couple spots off on the far side there. It probably is a little bit, but not too bad. So yeah, for anybody playing on this map, definitely a good area there to, like I said, clean the trees off. And then plow it up, and you can plant anything you want on it. In our case, like I said, we went with grass, but obviously you can plant crops on it as well if you like. Walter was saying, love your old school chopping videos. Please do more in the future. Okay. I thought you folks maybe get a little bored of that, seeing as how it was taking so long. Kane was saying you need to start a new map. Like I said, I do want to do one more season on Snetterton's yet with all the equipment we bought. Planet Jacob was saying you should get a bigger chopper. I have no plans on doing that on Snetterton's. We'll just keep it with what we have. At least that's my intentions anyway. Noah's asking, do you need to have internet to install Farming Simulator if you have a disc? I don't believe so, no. At least I wouldn't think so anyway. That would seem kind of silly if you need a internet connection and you have a disc. Colin was saying, I'm a new subscriber, and I was wondering how you finding auto-loading hay bale trailer on the PS4. I know it's a mod, but where do I look to find it? Unfortunately, you have no auto-loading trailers on the consoles, which of course includes the PS4. That is a PC-only mod. And that, unfortunately, probably will not change anytime soon either. The auto-loading uses an external script, and consoles, at least at this point, are not allowed to have any external scripts. So yeah, therefore, no auto-loading trailer mods. The best you can get is the in-game auto-loading trailers. Well, not really even auto-loading trailers. The, I guess you could call them auto-loading trailers. The auto-loading bale trailers. The ones, of course, we're talking about here under baling technology would be the Ursus T127. That would be for round bales. And then the Accursion Auto Stack for square bales. So yeah, you, of course, don't have any of the, like, the Big Daddy flatbed trailers here. And there's, of course, lots of other auto-loading flatbed trailers as well. Most of them will take bales, pallets, all sorts of other odds and ends as well. Hi, it's me was saying next map should be county lines. We have already done county lines. Although I did actually consider that, seeing as how I did like that map quite a bit. But we did do that map multiplayer, so I don't know if I really want to do it single player again. Derek was saying that was pointless. You didn't get a single dollar out of that whole time you were doing this. Waste of time. Talking about compacting and blanketing the bunker. Yes, very true. We didn't get a single dollar out of compacting and blanketing it. But once it is done fermenting, I'll inform you, we did get quite a bit of money off of it. Now, folks, I'll have to say, some of the comments I get sometimes really make me scratch my head. It's like, really? There's people like this out here? I guess there are. Like the comment from the person yesterday who informed me quite definitely that you can get mods in Farming Simulator 18. And now a comment here from a person saying compacting and blanketing the bunker is pointless. Okay then. My suggestion would be maybe you should try playing Farming Simulator before you start clacking away on that keyboard. Thomas was saying, ooh, the grain delivery system got a shout out. And before I forget to mention, PC suck. Thomas was also saying, also PS4 suck. That's a console that it kills me to have to admit that too. Jeffrey was saying, yeah, just park that failure in the fence row where it needs to be. Ooh, the burn. The burn. The failure would be a massive, a Massey Ferguson, I mean. A Bottle Ghoul was saying, people with better refresh rate monitors have even more smooth experience with higher FPS. Yes, they do. And for those of you wondering, by the way, why it is 60 FPS, why it's not maybe going higher. And as far as higher, I don't know how high it could go here. Again, I have a GTX 1080 Ti for a graphics card. The frame rate is locked to my monitor's refresh rate, which actually, my monitor actually has 144 hertz refresh rate, so I probably should see if it can do higher, because in theory it should be able to. Standard, though, it is a 60 hertz refresh rate monitor, so that is why I'm doing 60 frames. I know I was talking about that some the other day. They were complaining, how come my monitor can only do how come I'm only getting 60 frames? I've got two dual GTX 1080 Ti's. Well, you're locked, and typically, you're locked to your monitor's refresh rate. That's a feature they introduced, quite a few years ago now, I believe. Seeing as how it is pointless to have more frames than what your monitor can display. So, if your monitor has a 60 hertz refresh rate, 60 frames essentially, your graphics card is only going to do 60 frames. It may be capable of doing more, that's very well possible, but because your monitor can only display 60 frames, that is all you're going to get is 60 frames. So as you can see, that is what I'm getting. I am getting 60 frames, and it might alternate between 59 and 60. I think I don't remember what the exact refresh rate is. It's like 59 point something something. But yeah, that just reminded me. I should really look into it, because like I said, I do have a high refresh rate monitor. At least my main one is anyway. So maybe check out and see if I can do higher or not. Sebastian was saying, great video. Thank you very much for that. And by the way, for those you do want to see a higher frame rate, I believe it's NVIDIA, at least with the NVIDIA anyway, it's G-Sync or V-Sync. I forget which one it is again. Again, it syncs the frame rate to your monitor. I believe it's actually V-Sync. G-Sync, I believe, is something completely different. I'm not necessarily up on all the different syncing technologies there. But yeah, like I said, they're 60 frames, and if your monitor can only do 60, that's what it's going to do. It's going to do 60, assuming it can do 60. There's very well a possibility it can only do 40. Your monitor can still do 60, but it's only going to do 40 because that's all it can get for the game. That is definitely possible, but pretty much, I believe it's V-Sync. I believe that is the cap So it's going to cap you at 60 frames if that's what your monitor can do. Or, for example, let's say your monitor... why are you just sitting there? I guess he wasn't done. Let's say your monitor can do 120. Well, then it's going to cap you at 120. Yeah, even though it didn't dump anything in. I guess I thought I had to be under it a little bit longer yet. Then, again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe G-Sync, that's where it syncs your frame rate and your monitor's frame rate together. So let's just pick an example here. Let's say you have a 120 hertz refresh rate monitor. And your graphics card with whatever game you're playing. Let's just pick Farming Simulator. You're playing the game. Your graphics card can only do 80 frames. It's going to sync your monitor's refresh rate. Instead of 120, it's going to sync it down to 80. So now you're having 80 hertz refresh rate on your monitor, because that's all your graphics card is capable of doing is 80. And at least to my understanding, the advantage of that, it's supposed to smooth out the gameplay by, you know, syncing both your frame rate and your monitor's frame rate so they're both the same. And I believe that's the G-Sync. I'm sure AMD probably has their own names for it too. I don't necessarily do much with the AMD as far as graphics cards go, so I don't know what that would be, but like I said, I'm sure they have theirs as well. Almost have another load filled up here. And yeah, so far the 2.2 meter GPS seems to be working out pretty good here so far. Though, yeah, it does look like it actually probably should be a little bit closer. Maybe it should be maybe 2.3. Or maybe it's one of those that's like between 2.2 and 2.3. Again, I've never really figured out what width a hired worker uses. It seems to actually vary a little bit at times. The fan here, I believe, by the way, is just blowing out all the waste. And same thing up here. So just blowing out all the leaves and probably whatnot else with the Sugarcane. As far as I know, you're just getting the stalk and you're chopping the stalk up. Right, 2.3 here maybe. Okay, so we're full again. What's the highest price? It probably changed slightly, did it? 189 at the harbor, 210 at the sugar mill. Sugar mill, that is one we can actually drive to, right? That's down, yes, that's down there. So we'll go ahead and deliver that, and then it'll probably be time to wrap up the episode here by the time we get this delivered. Probably should look at a bigger tractor for this as well. This is the Star 180. Again, not familiar with this tractor brand at all, so I don't know if there's bigger ones. It'd be kind of nice if there was. A 180 horsepower tractor isn't exactly big in the game here, that's for sure. And, you know, at least as far as the frame rate, the whole frame rate discussion there. And Farming Simulator, as long as you're getting about 30 frames, that is still very, very playable. Even 20 frames is still playable. Once you start dropping below 20, though, things start getting a little bit dicey, if you ask me. Yeah, the gameplay just is not very smooth once you start dropping below 30, even 20. That's when you really start noticing, you know, issues. You know, and there's definitely a lot of things you can do in the game here to hopefully help your frame rate. You know, obviously you can turn down the graphic settings here in Farming Simulator down all the way to low. You know, turn them all down, turn everything all the way off and down and low and all that good stuff. Obviously, you know, it's not going to make the game look very good. You know, it's kind of a trade-off. Do you want the game to look good, or do you want better frame rates? You know, personally, I kind of go with the better frame rates myself. So, you know, if it's not making it, okay, let's turn it down a little bit. And again, like I said, as long as you can get about 30 or so, I would say that's acceptable. And once you go below that, it's like, boy, it doesn't give you the best gaming experience, if you ask me. And, of course, one other thing you can do as well is turn down your resolution. That will actually make a big difference there. That's probably actually makes a bigger difference than turning down the, you know, the quality settings. And if you turn down your resolution a little bit, you might be able to turn your quality settings back up. And again, typically you want to match your resolution to your monitor's resolution. So if you have a 1080p display, preferably you want to do 1080p. Preferably, at least if your graphics card can anyway. You know, if you only got a 720p display, again, preferably you're going to only want to do 720p then. Definitely no sense doing higher. That's kind of pointless. You know, but again, you know, if your computer can't handle it, well, keep turning it down then until it can. Anyway, with that, folks, I think we'll wrap up the video here. Again, if folks want to join us on the multiplayer server, information is in the description below. Again, make sure you join us on TeamSpeak if you'd like to join us. And again, a reminder, if you want to join us on here, this again is Server 2. And we, of course, do have download all links for all the servers, so you can download all the mods at once. So yeah, like I said with that, folks, I think we'll wrap it up here. Folks, have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.